We finally made it to the CBO Canada for the BMO Creator Insights Forum. I'm so excited to see who we're going to see today, what we're going to learn, and thank you to BMO ETFs for providing me this opportunity to speak on a panel and sponsoring today's video. Let's go. We've arrived. Let's see what this is all about. It's a crowded house already. We see so many people here in attendance. I can't wait to see who we find. Who are we here with?
Zayla Saunders.
And Zayla, what do you do at BMO ETFs?
I am the Vice President of Online ETF Distribution, so we're responsible for the ETF sales in the DIY channel.
Well, congrats on an incredible day. Like, we've been speaking to so many people, they're having so much fun. What has been your favorite part of the event so far?
Oh my goodness, it is the community. I feel like, I said it earlier today, it feels like it's my birthday party. Yeah. There's just so many amazing people in the room. They're all connecting. I don't know if you can pick up on the sound, but the community and the energy of people, it's just really special.
So the cool thing about this event, as opposed to a lot of the other ETF events I've been to, is that this is like a creator-focused event. So it's all going to be talking to other fellow content creators in the Canadian finance space. Maybe I'll learn a thing or two about, how to grow on Instagram, how to grow on TikTok, but I will be sharing some of my advice on how I grew on YouTube.
I was gonna say, more likely they're gonna be learning from you, but
it goes both ways.
So after some mingling and networking, the event really kicked off. It started with a keynote address from Zayla, followed by some words from the BMO ETF's higher-ups. They provided some valuable insight on the current landscape of the ETF environment. What was super cool about this event was that it was a creator forum, and I got the opportunity to speak on a panel very dear to me: content creation, connecting with your audience. I was accompanied by some other very powerful speakers. I thought it was so special that a company like BMO ETFs took the time to invest in the creator ecosystem, understanding that people are getting their information nowadays from social media and how they can best navigate that to get the top quality information out to the world. I had a really good time sharing some of my insights that I've learned over the years, and it was an awesome experience. Who are we here with?
Kevin Prince.
What is a red flag that someone should look out for when they're looking into ETF investing?
My favorite red flag is around liquidity of an ETF, specifically flows into an ETF. Sometimes people look at the volume in ETF, that's what people look at, and that's a red flag because you're not probably seeing all the information you need to see. And frankly, there's volume and there's support there for ETFs because the ETF is a basket and it's got a valuation, and as long as the underlying has value, so will the ETF have value.
For me, probably concentration risk. If it has too much of one, maybe over 50%, it's not diversified well enough, red flag.
How about 100% yield?
The red flag would be as if it's a newer fund manager that's coming into the market. No track record. I wouldn't say it's a red flag. It's something you should be more stand back and watch a little. So that would be my more red flag-ish thing. So
It's a yellow flag.
a yellow
Be
flag.
aware.
I'll give it a yellow flag.
It's the fees. I know that's the most common thing, but it's true. I think you're just putting all your hard-earned money into an ETF, but if a load of it's being taken out through fees.
I would say someone who's not really prepared and who hasn't really understood what goes into their ETF. So take a look online, read the prospectus, and take a look. Get your education.
So we just wrapped up the panel. There was some incredible contributions from the other panelists, Asia, Gina, and Anika as the moderator. I really enjoyed too at the very end. There were some amazing questions from the audience. Questions about community building, hosting different events, tips and tricks for those getting monetization for their events. We also had a really good time speaking on the topic of content and what type of content tends to resonate with the audience. That was such a fun panel, and I hope people got a lot of value from it.
What are you most excited for this event?
What I'm most excited for this event, I believe it's the first of its kind here, where we have all these fun creators in the room. And I have such good relationships with so many of them, still so many more to meet, but to all be in one place, learning about ETFs, staying up to date with the industry, it's a really cool and special thing done here by BMO ETFs that I can't wait to see how it turns out.
What is your ETF investing red flag?
My biggest ETF investing red flag would have to be when typically a new investor or beginner, they get drawn into the allure of a high yield, like a dividend yield. That's often what they see, that's what sucks them in, but they tend to neglect things like the total return or how the price appreciation or depreciation may occur. I always like to say, whenever you're assessing any type of investment, whether it's an ETF or an asset, look at things like total return. Don't just look at the dividend, because that can be misleading and get people into a lot of trouble.
What do you personally like about ETFs?
What I personally like about ETFs is just how simple it makes the diversification process for investors. So it's very challenging to build a well-diversified portfolio of individual stocks by picking them individually. It's not impossible, but it's challenging. With an ETF, because it's like a basket or a bundle, in many cases with hundreds, if not thousands of companies, you really have to worry about just buying and managing one product. And inherently, you're getting access to thousands of companies, in many cases across the globe.
What stands out to you about BMO ETFs?
BMO ETFs in particular has to be the Canadian first approach. So I'm Canadian, born and raised here in Vancouver. We're here in Toronto. Out of all the different providers out there, there's something that really resonates with me about that is a Canadian first approach offering solutions to Canadian investors across the country.
If you had to pick the biggest mistake that investors make in general, blank canvas, what would you say?
It's conviction without proper research, due diligence. You know, they talk to a friend or family, they watch a YouTuber or content creator, and they think, oh, I'm gonna go all in on that stock, right? So it's not doing your own research, blindly following someone else, and on top of that, overly concentrated on that risky speculative bet, right? Again, the name of the game is diversification. Spread your bets, that's the safest way, but if you are going to do individual stocks, make sure you do your own research. Don't just buy because someone like me told you to.
Amazing advice. Well, thank you, Adrian.
My
it's so
pleasure.
good to see you.
The biggest mistake most people are making is that they're chasing whatever trend is hot or popping off right now. What most people need to do is figure out what their long-term goal is and then build a strategy to meet that goal and work their way backwards instead of figuring out what to buy from social media or figuring out what to buy from their friend. Start with the end goal and build a strategy to meet that goal.
That's such valuable advice. Thank you very much, Zach.
Thanks, Brandon.